So what's going on, guys? Welcome back into another video. We are 3 days away from 1.1, and we just passed the 1 month mark actually 2 days ago. I wanted to talk to you guys about pretty much like my experience, things that I'm hoping for, things that I had nuances with, and kind of clear up some stuff from like a couple videos back, so that way maybe it makes more sense. I've had time to process my thoughts and obviously communicate with you guys in the community and stuff like that. Get your thoughts, even though a bunch of people were upset with me for what I was saying, but maybe I can clear it up for y'all in this one. First and foremost, overall experience of the game so far, I would say it's a solid 8 out of 10 right now. My reasoning for that is that I feel like there is still certain nuances in the game that need to be polished or refined in certain ways. Like, one of the things being obviously is the echo experience, whether it's for short term or long term. And it got me thinking, and my thought kind of got sparked from a few posts that I was reading today and yesterday on some of the different, and I'm a donkey, I apologize, I forget the names of the people. I can go back and find it if necessary to post it on there, but they were just sharing their outline on it with the echo experience and all. And since we do know that databank level 21 is coming out, and we're getting 100% yellow drop rate or 100% 5-star drop rate in terms of echoes, it got me thinking. Off these posts were saying, like, what could we do in the future with the data bank? If that's like the pinnacle for right now, then obviously in the future the data bank, it has to give us more. It can't just increase the drop rate because it's already doing that. Now in return, a lot of people were saying that in the data bank level 22, let's just use for an example, instead of just leveling it up and you just get the XP for it, it would be cool if they increase the actual drop rate percentage when you're actually fighting the mob and the echo drops. So we already know it's going to be 100% yellow, but it would be cool if 20, 22, 23 increase the drop rate of the actual echoes themselves. I 100% agree with that. I think that would be great. It may entice people to go ahead and start farming again to get a lot of those different echoes and stuff like that. But I was thinking a little bit further than that. And my thought process comes from more of like a prestige aspect in games and like kind of new game plus and stuff like that, in terms of just the quality of what you get. And in the echo experience, let me start off. I know I'm getting off track, but let me start off by saying one thing. I think it would be an amazing idea if they had some kind of fusion or some kind of dispensary or something like that that we get later, where we can trade in all of the unused echoes that we're just not going to use. Either one, allow us to use those echoes for actually feeding into the other echoes for experience points, because we can do that with weapons already. Why can't we do that with echoes? That's one of the biggest things that I'm just kind of confused about. Number two is, it would be cool if they had some kind of fusion system or something like that. And we would have to work on how many echoes would go in and what you would get out. But I think it would be cool if there was like a certain amount of echoes you could put in. Probably a good number of them. I would say, like, for 3-star echoes of the here, let's just go ahead and do this for just an example. So I would say if we went in and this thing existed, we could go in right here and we can go to 3 costs. And if we wanted to get an electro set, like say for example, we would have to do 50 3-cost echoes or 25 or whatever. I'm just making up numbers. Obviously, it would need to make sense for them to kind of be winning in the transaction, but also make sense for us to want to do it. Is we would do like 25 to 50 of the 3-star echoes, and we would get one of those that we get to choose. Like if we wanted a Rose Shroom with Glacio, then we would trade in, 25 Glacio main stat 3 costs, and then choose what the main stat would be. I think that would be a great idea. And then even going even further to that, I feel like at some point they're probably going to do this, and a lot of games just don't do it right off the rip. But I feel like at some point they will come out with an item or something like that that allows us to re-roll the substats. because I know a ton of gacha games already have that implemented in there, and it just doesn't make sense that they wouldn't do that in the future. So yeah, something like that where we're just not wasting these and doing like the fusion, because I feel like at this point that like the databank fusion or the merging, whatever the hell they call it, this one right here, data merge, it just feels useless. To be honest, to be completely honest, it feels useless. 5 to get random ones that you're not even hunting for databank level anymore. I haven't been doing this since I hit level 20. And I have around like 1500 to 1600 echoes. Obviously, I kind of got to a position where I was comfortable with and then just stopped doing it there. But I feel like all these useless echoes that I just have in my inventory, we got to put good use to them. Now, like I said, number one, databank level 22 can increase the drop rate that the echoes actually drop. Maybe 23 could be something like where you get increased drop rates on tacit fields X amount of times per week, kind of like how they do the elite drop. So if you go right here, the enhanced drop rate for like the Overlord or Calamity, we get that many chances per week. It would be cool if they added another one where it was like kind of like the event going on right now, where we get an increased drop of like tuners, or we get an increased drop of XP 15 times a week or 10 times a week or whatever seems fair. Maybe 5 times starting, and then every extra level you get an extra 5 or something like that, or every 2 levels or 3 levels you get an extra 5. I think those would be great implementations into the game. One, it would allow for a little bit more of looping, so you're getting on and just looping the gameplay every day instead of just doing dailies and then maybe the one event that they have out and waiting for the next day to repeat that over. That leads me into my next thing. The overall initial experience of going through the story, getting the echoes for the characters, leveling them up, getting the materials, doing the illusion realm, and doing the Tower of Adversity, and clearing out the hologram bosses was great. I just feel like there's something missing in 2 different elements of the game. One, I feel like we don't truly have a necessary loop to the game, or an enjoyable loop to the game right now that makes me want to get on for more than the 20-30 minutes that I'm on. I do try to push myself just to go farm a couple echoes, but then I'm like, I'm comfortable in the spot where I'm at because I've cleared everything that I want to clear right now, and obviously everything's going to just take more time, or I can just get good and dodge everything. But I'm very impatient in action RPGs and fighting games and stuff. I don't like to take the time to do that. One, because I just don't physically have the time to sit on the game. Once I did the initial grind and stuff like that, I kind of went back to 1 hour a day where I can make content for you guys, and then I'm spending time with the family until I get to the point where I can start streaming, of course, and then it will be a different story. But as of now, for the majority of people, most people are probably playing 2-3 gacha games at a time. This one I feel like holds my attention the least whenever it comes in terms of like replayability in a day, or just progress that you can get throughout a day. Number 2 is we have co-op, but there's really no challenge to co-op. That is my biggest gripe about the game right now, aside from like mechanical things or bugs or stuff like that. Is my biggest gripe is that there's no true challenge in co-op. I really hope, and I've said this before, I really hope at some point we get something that allows us to push ourselves and our co-op partners and stuff to an extreme to actually have to try. There is those little red bosses and stuff like that, but most of those are just really easy to knock out whenever you get the hang of them 1 or 2 times, which obviously everything's going to do that in the future once you play it enough. But yeah, there's no real incentive other than just refarming mining and echoes in a co-op game. Like, we haven't gotten to a point where there's a real enjoyability out of co-op, I think. Now, maybe other people are having a different experience than I am, but I really grinded co-op pretty hard within the first couple of weeks that the game was out, the first 2 weeks that the game was out. And then I felt like, there's no need to hit up my buddy and get online and play in a co-op session, because I kind of have everything. They kind of have everything, and it's better to just knock out the dailies and move on to something else. Let me know what y'all think on that, and also let me know what y'all think about that the echo side of things. I would say my last kind of experience with the game is definitely going to be the hologram bosses so far. I am excited for the Crownless coming. I'm super excited about that. I actually really enjoy that fight, but unfortunately it's not really a challenge at all, just in the overworld. And I hope they do hologram fights for every single boss at some point, because I would like to experience those on a more challenging stage, or at least to, put them into the Tower of Adversity possibly, if they don't make a hologram for it. But I feel like there needs to be one more aspect to Endgame, like one more thing besides the Tower of Adversity, besides the hologram bosses and the elusive realm. Listen. There was like a small sequence in the game where we got to do like this 2D side scroller mission. I think it's to unlock the first part where you can farm materials for like skills and stuff like that. And it was enjoyable to me. I think two things with that could be really cool. Make it a little bit more challenging in forms of the parkour aspect of it, but also add enemies into it as well. And what would be really cool is if you guys played like older Sonic games or like Sega or Nintendo games, they would have like time trial modes where you could go up against a buddy and you could see who could clear that stage the fastest. Now, obviously, these things, I feel like it would be best done where all the characters are equal in value, I would say, like damage output and everything like that. You're not going in with your gear. It's more like a challenge mode. And in that challenge mode, you could be rewarded with like materials or costumes or different things of that nature that are not just like groundbreaking because it's more skill based. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about that. That was just like a side thing because I was like, man, they threw this in here for like one or two little baby missions, and then we just never experienced that side scroller aspect again. I thought it was a really cool idea. But anyways, y'all, 2 days away, we will be pulling for Gen C when she comes out. So, like, comment, subscribe, get ready for that. I'll be here on day one whenever she releases, and we will be pulling for her and her weapon. Hopefully we can get her early. I'm pretty much close to pity, but we still have the 50-50 to contend with, and then we need to move our way into the weapon. Anyways, guys, thank y'all so much for stopping by, and I'll see you on the next one.